What is your American dream?
My American dream is one day opening my Fifth Avenue craft couture shop, classy men and women's stuff. The first African-inspired clothes and accessories on Fifth Avenue. Right in front of Trump Tower.
Successful and free, you know? Yeah, it's all about being successful.
My American dream is to be one of the best known chef there is. Yeah, that's where I want to be now. I want to be known.
And to be the best I can be.
My dream is to be with my family and be able to take care of my family the best way I possibly can. I've had 2 more children since I've come here, and being in the United States has its benefits for my children.
Everyone has a right to the American dream. Welcome, everybody. Uncle Brad is not here today. He's being replaced by Scruffy Brad. Scruffy Brad in replacement of Uncle Brad. And Nesquick, how are you?
Hey, squad. Hey, Brad.
And Yonathan Yo-Yo Elias.
I'm here.
Yes, because both of you said you're looking a bit scruffy today.
Just a little scruff, Brad.
Yeah.
The
There's
weekend's
anything
coming
wrong
up.
with it?
No, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
It's a different look. You want it? We're on every day. You got to switch things up for,
Well,
for
you know
our
what?
viewers.
You know what? I felt I looked very young. You know, and people were not taking me seriously enough. So I said, if I grow out the beard, I look a little scruffier, I really can pull off the Uncle Brad
Got it.
look.
Oh.
Who is convinced by that, Brad Squad? Just put it in the comments
Oh,
below.
we already know what Brad Squad think about the
Scruffy Brad?
Yeah, they always want clean shaven Brad.
They are
They are against.
nobody's in favor of scruffy Brad. I have actually been threatened by some of the Brad Squad to be tied down and shaved with a broken bottle.
This is very
right?
true. You know why though? But you've never actually grown it all the way out. Maybe that's why. Maybe you should try it. It might be a different look for you.
Yeah, I don't really like it, to be honest with you. So I don't enjoy it myself, except sometimes when I just feel like lazy Uncle Brad, like I don't feel like shaving, so I kind of like trim it around a little bit because I'm just in a rush. But
You trim it?
not really trim it, but like grows up to your eyes.
like manicure it.
Manicure. Oh, that's a much better word.
Yeah.
That's a much better
Just a
word.
little maintenance.
A little maintenance to it.
yeah.
Like it takes like 6 seconds.
Yeah.
9 seconds.
You would think I would be the one carrying conversation on our,
Right.
our looks, but
Yes.
let's say
No.
what's up to our team first.
Right, and by the way, Nesquick,
Boss
I assume, boss lady, that it takes you more than 9 seconds to get yourself ready in the morning, right?
It's like
Yes.
10 seconds.
Right.
I'm a professional now.
The shaving takes the longest for a man. The shaving,
it.
by far, it's like a 10-minute process. Other than that, I could be dressed out of the house in 9.5 seconds.
Right.
Which is what I did today. All right, let's say hello to Sophia R. Gray, who says, "Welcome back, Mr. Brad Bernstein, Bradaquad family."
Whoa.
I think there's a couple of typos in there. I never heard of Bradaquad before, but perhaps that's a new group. Rehandra, what?
I'm here for it.
You're here for it. All
Bradaquad?
right. So we joined the Bradaquad group. That's our swim group, right?
Yeah.
Hey, we're just keeping it fun.
That's right. Rehandra, Bessie R, how are you? Squad up. Jessica Levy, Myrtle Ray, squad up. Deanna Moore says it's been, what is she saying? Squad up, everybody. Myrtle Ray, I said, Essalia Enots, saying squad up. Oh, yeah, Deanna Moore says squad Brad and the team. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since we haven't been here, or a long time since she hasn't been here, because I've only missed
A couple.
2
be
days.
either or.
2 days.
2 days. That's
Listen,
not a long time.
1 day is a long time for us.
I was a little under the weather.
How do you feel now?
I'm much better now.
Glad you're feeling better
Yes,
now,
yeah, boss
right.
lady got me sick. Lisa Blink Rhodes, how are you? Squad up. Violet Blackwood, squad up. Oh, you know, it was like one of those, you know, I did like one of those to boss lady. Right?
Gave the evil eye.
Yeah. Cordella Douglas, Christy Consali.
Heyo.
Saying hello, Nesquick.
Hey.
You're getting some love there, Nesquick.
I think the squad's getting used to me.
That's
That's all
right.
I want, y'all. I'm not going nowhere.
And
Stay
Tanette So Blessed Robinson joined us on YouTube. Cindy Albert, Tennessean Blair Hamilton. It's a new name, Tennessean.
Yeah.
From Tennessee. Did we make fun of that state recently?
With fun. We don't make fun.
We a little bit.
We may have.
Tennessee.
Oh, and they had a
jokingly
huge
showed them some
tornado
extra
there, so
love.
we shouldn't actually be
Right.
making fun of them actually. Alyssa Henry, how are you? Back it up, Ricky. Cole's Foundation saying squad up. Sexy Sham Myers, Ja Love, Duchess May, squad up. Kathleen Barrett says, Brad, I will be in New York next, and I would like to make an appointment to see you. All you need to do is call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-LAW-LINK. Carlene, Sweet Dot, how are you? Ren Stew, and Island Girl 26 saying squad up. Ed Pete, Paul Villefrank, and Brookie O. All popping in. On Instagram, Jill Go.
Yes.
We might know who that is.
You know who that is. New York City with a huge underscore. New York City also watching. Sparta William has joined us. Kamika Alicia. Dken.step has joined. Sweet Cupcake. I like Sweet Cupcake.
I like that.
Cupcake.
I like Sweet Cupcake. Saying hello.
I like that too.
Chio Mamo has joined as well. Cordella Douglas with a thumbs up, could be double fisting.
that Cordella
with,
Douglas.
with a foot.
So much love for
And says squad up family, Uncle Brad, Yo-Yo, Nesquick.
Hey.
Everybody.
Hey.
All
Love
right.
it.
Why don't you tell everybody what they need to do while I get ready for some schmoozing.
Absolutely. All right, now, first up, everybody on all social media. That means Facebook, that means Instagram, YouTube, IG, and Twitter. If you guys are watching, I need you all to go to Facebook and join the very important Squad member page. It's the actual Brad Squad page where you get a lot of incentives. And what's one of the biggest ones?
That the first 5 questions asked in our Facebook group will be the first 5 questions that Brad answers.
You cannot ask for anything more because we will never. Now at this point, because we have so many people that watch and so many different social media questions, we will not get to all the social media questions.
Impossible.
Impossible. But the way for you guys to actually get your questions answered, just join this page right down there and send it in any time of the day.
Yep, during social media check-in, those will be the first 5 questions that we ask.
There
We
you
repeat
go.
again the first 5 questions, but only if you join the Facebook group and ask your questions
A
there.
present that we give you every day.
What do you think are other things that are impossible besides me getting through all the immigration questions in a 2-hour show?
It's impossible to get through all of Schmoozing.
That is very true. Because I have in my hand coming up the top 250 news stories in a day.
Yes.
So it will be impossible for me to schmooze them all,
Yeah.
plus answer all your immigration questions
There
in
you
2
go.
hours.
Well, we gotta keep our squad informed.
That's right. Nesquick,
do.
what else is impossible for this show?
Oof,
Put you on the spot.
Sheesh. I don't know to keep this mug full the whole show.
There you go. All right. Back
All
to
right.
you guys.
All right, now everybody on Facebook, first things first, I need you all to share. Share to everybody, and anybody. I need you to take all your devices, all your phones, tablets, computer, whatever you're watching on, I need you guys to share. It's that easy. Click the little share button, it's a little arrow that's pointing to the right, and share it to anybody's page, share it to a group, share it in an inbox. Once you guys share, I need you guys to let us know in the comment section that you actually did. Because
We're
I
at
want to know
a
that
moderate
you
share count right now,
What are we
Yo-Yo.
at?
On Facebook, I'm only seeing 36 shares.
Okay, all right. So by the time we're done with all of this and going into schmoozing, I want you guys to get up to at least 50.
Yo-Yo, you have somebody who is madly in love with you.
Really?
Her name, she's a top fan. Her name is Barbara Lord. She says she wants to give you a hug even if you got the virus. I don't know which virus she's talking about. There's lots of different viruses.
The virus we're always talking about. Everybody's talking about.
I don't have corona.
But you don't get corona, remember?
Right.
We don't get it.
No.
Listen, so I'll give you a hug, baby. All right. So now what are we
Focus,
doing?
gentlemen, focus.
Listen, not my fault. What are we
Okay?
gonna do on YouTube?
They don't name me. Brad hasn't named me boss lady for no reason.
That's
so
right.
let's
Tell them what we
focus,
doing.
team. On YouTube, you guys, we are going to subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you know when we are on live every single day. You can also share via YouTube, and you can share it through a text. You can share it as a post. Let people know that the show is on and that we are going to be answering immigration questions. You know that you're locked in just for that bread and butter to hear all the questions that Brad is going to answer.
Boss Lady on YouTube, we have 31 thumbs up. How many thumbs up? We're going to schmooze for a little bit,
This
but I'm
upsets
going to
me,
let
Brad.
Boss Lady decide. How many thumbs up are we going to need before I start answering immigration questions?
So I'm gonna need a minimum of 75 thumbs up
Wow.
because there's 97
There's only
viewers.
97 people watching right
It's
now.
almost the weekend. I did not come to play games here, okay?
Oh my
We have
God.
been off the air for 2 days.
Y'all better-
We have to come back strong, and I don't think the Brad Squad's taking me seriously. I will not let you answer questions.
I
won't ask the question.
You want to know how seriously you will be taking her? I came into the studio today and she said, get me an iced coffee. I came back with the iced coffee. She said, no. I asked for a cappuccino. I said, what are you talking about? You asked for a cappuccino. She said, iced coffee. No, I said cappuccino. I am not walking into that studio without my cappuccino. Now, we didn't have time to go back, but I sent somebody else back down. I said, I'm not going to go back for Boss Lady twice. But we sent somebody else down. Pizza had to go get her a cappuccino. Would you believe this?
And then the Brad Squad thinks I'm a big brat. Thank you, Brad. Thank you for that, Brad. Anyway,
By the way, not true. That was not true.
Anyway,
She's
team,
very sweet girl.
Those
very
thumbs
not
up,
true.
those thumbs up, we're gonna need them
But-
on YouTube and we need them
But,
on Facebook.
but I'm trying to scare them to really believe that you are really tough.
So tough. So tough that I will not read Brad your questions if we don't get those
All right,
thumbs
let's
up.
schmooze. Let's schmooze.
Okay,
Let's
squad, let's get ready for schmoozing with Brad.
So I'll tell you what. Also is impossible. It is impossible. It is impossible to think that you can spend $500 million on a political campaign and that money in of itself without any personality that you would actually win an election, right?
Yeah.
Impossible.
So we would think.
And it is, because on Super Tuesday, right before Super Tuesday, well, actually, what's very interesting is if you asked us last Thursday, a week ago,
Yeah.
of all the scenarios that you can figure out for the Democratic primary, would it end up being that Joe Biden would be far in the lead, Bernie Sanders would be trailing him, and everybody would be turning to Joe Biden as the Democratic savior?
No idea that this
Not
is gonna
did we
happen.
even have that in
No.
our discussion?
At all.
Not at all. It was an amazing turnaround by Joe Biden,
Wow.
and it really goes to show that, you know, being a politician is a little harder than just putting an ad
Yeah.
on television. It's about getting people to come to you and support you. And, you know, what Joe Biden did, which was more important than anything else, which was more important than the plan for health care, which was more important than the plan for the environment, which was more important than the plan for education or taxes. What was most important to people, more than anything else, who the hell can beat Trump?
Yeah.
And that ultimately is what got everybody to go around to Joe Biden, because he went into South Carolina. He got the black vote, which was a majority vote in South Carolina. Bernie Sanders wasn't getting the black vote. Buttigieg wasn't getting the black vote. And certainly Bloomberg wasn't getting it either after this whole stop and frisk. Okay, so he catapulted South Carolina and basically proved to the Democratic establishment that basically you're going to have two choices: either me or it's going to be Bernie Sanders.
Right.
And nobody in their right mind thinks that Bernie Sanders is really capable of beating Donald Trump, including Donald Trump, because Donald Trump is rooting for Bernie Sanders the entire time.
Right.
So we basically are now going to ultimately have, an election that will be built around, do you want Donald Trump to be president? Because honestly, Joe Biden has not presented himself as anybody who, like, gets people excited to vote for him.
Right.
Yeah.
He has not presented himself with some amazing plan to make America different or
I really don't know
change. What he stands for is this. I'm elderly. I've been in politics a very long time.
Yep.
And I'm stable.
Right.
I'm a stable human being. Okay.
Which I can.
All right. So
agree to,
that is
basically.
I'll take stable.
That
I'll
is
take stable.
basically it. And I'm a reasonable person who's not making outrageous statements. And I'm a reasonable person who's a moderate, who's interested in civil rights, who's interested in people's rights, who may have America's interest ahead of themselves. He's a reasonable human being. So basically what we are putting up against Donald Trump is somebody who's not crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Essentially.
so that's essentially what it's going to ultimately end up being. Now, since Biden swept most of the states in Super Tuesday, Bloomberg has stepped aside. Warren has now stepped aside. Bloomberg is now going to put his money behind Biden. So, because Biden wasn't able to raise any money.
Oh.
So now he has the money from Bloomberg.
Yeah.
So when they do this, why are they doing this? Do they want something out of it, or?
Obviously,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Bloomberg ends up being Secretary of State.
Yeah, I was just gonna say he's looking for his place.
And I was just telling Jill, I said I'm not a political strategist in any way, shape, or form. But the one problem that Joe Biden had, and by the way, when we say that everyone's voting for him because they think that he's the best person to beat Trump, the exit polls in Virginia, the home state of Jilly M. Go Productions, okay? The exit polls in Virginia, they allow Republicans and Democrats to vote in the Democratic primary. As long as you have a heartbeat, you can show up and make a vote.
Okay.
Okay, so you don't have to be a registered Democrat to vote in the Democratic Party. Donald Trump was telling people in the states in which anyone could just show up and vote to go vote for Bernie Sanders because he wanted the Republicans to come in, vote for Bernie Sanders so Bernie Sanders would be the Democratic nominee. A lot of Republicans came and voted in Virginia. This was now just one state. Other states may be different. But the exit polls indicated for the votes in Virginia by the Republicans, why did they come and vote? They voted because they disliked Donald Trump. And they came and voted for Joe Biden because they felt that he was the best person to beat Donald Trump. So when you have Republicans in Virginia coming to vote on behalf of Democrats to get the right Democrat elected so that a Republican can come and vote for him,
yeah.
that's what we're seeing, at least certainly in Virginia. Now, I was telling Jilly, I'm no politician. Okay, I'm just scruffy Brad. Okay, but if I was, the one thing that I think Joe Biden doesn't have right now is excitement. Okay,
Right.
Yeah.
there's no excitement that goes around Joe Biden. All right, people get excited for Warren.
Yeah.
Even people were getting excited. I mean Sanders. People were getting excited for Warren.
Yeah.
The supporters for Buttigieg, they were getting excited for Buttigieg.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people who were getting excited, core constituents. It wasn't enough to get them to the Democratic nomination. But if I was Biden, I would want their supporters
Yeah.
to come and be excited for me.
Yeah.
So how do you do that? I would start announcing right
I
now.
was just gonna say, how would
Right.
you do it,
I wanna
Brad?
know.
What? How would you do it?
Well, I would have to look into a niche. Like, where am I not building any excitement? Is it in the youth? Like,
Well, he's,
Okay,
he's
but
actually,
let me
he's-
tell
no,
you-
but I'm saying he's actually trying to do that. There's this big media outlet called Shade Room, and it has millions and millions of followers, and it's usually it's all catered to like the hip hop world, you know, like the urban world, and he just did an amazing interview with them. So like
Biden
that,
did.
yeah, Biden
Okay,
did.
but-
So that's one way he's trying.
Okay, that's excellent.
Yeah.
Now, nobody's said this yet, but this is what I think. Okay? I think he should take all of these people that people were excited to be in the election. Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Buttigieg, Bloomberg. Offer them right now positions in his administration.
How crazy would that be?
You know what? I'm running for the Democratic nomination, but I'm going to make Bernie Sanders, who's in charge, you know, what his big thing, you know, is equality.
Start
I'm going to put
sitting
him.
people
I'm
down
going to
in the
put.
right
I'm going to put.
seats.
I'm going to put. Right. Give them seats.
Yeah.
Let them know the Bernie Sanders people should be supporting me because there's going to be a place for Bernie Sanders in my administration.
Yep.
That'd be
You know,
smart.
I mean, I don't know what position Bernie Sanders should be. I don't know what position Warren should be, you know, but I would put them in top cabinet positions. I would even say, you know what? I would make AOC, even though she may not want it. I would say if I'm president, AOC is going to be our representative at the United Nations. Wouldn't that be an amazing thing for
That
such a
would.
young woman at 29 years old to be our representative at the? I mean, just think about it, you know. And then all of a sudden you're like, this guy's got something.
That's a whole different
That's
community.
it's a whole different community
I mean,
who's going
that'd
to
be
come.
smart.
Yeah.
That would be smart.
Well,
Is that your consultant?
but
Is that your
nobody's
political-
asking Scruffy
Is that
Brad
your
over here.
political consultant hat I saw you slip off
Yeah,
just now?
nobody's asking Scruffy Brad, but if you were, that's what I would do.
Right.
Okay.
I would too.
Right. I
That's
mean,
smart.
think about. I mean, wouldn't you get all excited?
True.
Wouldn't you get all excited if
Yeah.
like your person who you really loved
Did
is now
make
going
the
to be
cut.
part of this administration?
Yeah.
Definitely
That's
would
talking
be in
about
the
bringing
headlines.
the umbrella in,
Hey.
bringing everybody's in,
Yeah.
and bringing everybody's opinions in,
Yeah.
Yeah.
rather than saying I won, you lost, too bad.
Right, all in one house. I mean, I think that'll definitely stray us from not getting Trump elected
Right.
again.
You know,
Right.
I would say Bloomberg's going to be the Secretary of State. I would guess, or the Secretary of the
Do you
Treasury.
think he would even partner with Biden?
No, he's not going to be the Vice
Who do
President.
you think he's gonna pick for vice president?
If I were him,
Good, yeah, sure. You or him.
if I were Joe Biden.
Okay.
First of all, if I was
Vice-
Joe Biden, I would be mixing up the days and everything we're saying. I mean, he mixes everything up. This guy.
Yeah.
I question, you know, if he's going to be able to make it. But okay.
He said he's stable and reasonable, okay?
I would look for a woman, and I would look for a woman who is a minority. And I'm not sure who that would be, but that's who
Not
I
Kamala?
would be. What?
Not Kamala Harris, not her.
Maybe.
Are we ready for
she
that?
doesn't. Carmela Harris doesn't give that excitement.
Well, we need excitement.
Elizabeth Warren definitely did.
Yeah, like Stacey Abrams from Georgia. She would
Ooh.
get the excitement,
Wow.
and Oprah would be like over the moon on
Right.
that. Right.
Yeah.
And Stacey Abrams, you got to believe that Biden's a one-term president because he's too old to run again.
Oh.
Sorry.
I mean, facts are facts.
Facts are facts.
Yeah. But when you
Right.
say it aloud, I mean, I'm sure other
Facts
people
are
have
facts.
thought it, but
I don't know, I don't
I'll
care.
take
Just
somebody
give
else
them
for
the
4
facts.
years.
Right.
I'll take anyone else for
At
4
this
years.
point.
Right. So I mean, so whoever's going to be the vice president has to believe that if they have a successful administration and win,
That
that
they
they're
can
going to be the
be the
presidential
president.
nominee
Yeah.
4 years from now.
Yeah.
So to me, it would be a very, you know, prestigious thing to be the vice president because you know you don't have to wait 8 years.
Yeah.
On here, I'm reading Lisa Bling Rose, Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think Elizabeth Warren?
Yeah, I mean, that's what Lisa mentioned.
I mean, that would
Maybe.
make sense because she had
Right.
had a lot of
Right.
people like supporters.
But
Yeah.
I really hope that Joe Biden is watching right now.
I'm sure he is.
All right, because I'm sure that he may need some immigration help
Yeah.
to explain to people how immigration works. And while watching says, oh, that's a good idea. I'm going to offer different positions to different people. I'm going to say, this is who's going to be my Secretary of State. This is who's going to be the head of the Treasury. This is who's going to be in charge of education.
Yeah.
And he's going to bring in an umbrella of people and get people excited. Because we need to get Joe Biden elected. We need all of the Democratic supporters,
Yeah.
not just the ones who are supporting the moderate.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, apparently, while Joe Biden was giving a victory speech in Los Angeles, I think this was yesterday, it was on Super Tuesday, actually.
Yeah.
A protester rushed the stage
Yes.
to protest
Anti-dairy?
animals.
Was it
Just
anti-dairy?
protest killing animals. He was a vegan protester. Let's watch.
Look at the wife, though. Jill don't play.
Yeah,
First of all, here, I got two things to say.
Yeah.
Jill don't play with her man. You saw her. Joe was back there like, oh, Jill went after them. And second, their security sucks. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, how does somebody rush the stage like that,
That's
right?
crazy.
Well,
Look at her.
Jill don't play.
All I can tell you is, if
That's right, girl.
I would be down for her to be my first lady.
yes. First of all, Julie said in my ear we would put Jill Biden ahead of Secret Service,
Yeah.
right?
Right, she got it down packed.
Meanwhile,
That was a good one.
Boss Lady, if Boss Lady was up there, she would have tackled that guy. The only other person besides Jill Biden that I wouldn't mess with is Boss Lady over
Right.
there.
Glad we have this picture.
That picture is brilliant.
That's
Look at her.
love.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Fight
crazy?
for my
What kind
man.
of Secret Service is this?
That's
Yeah.
trifling. Yeah.
Isn't that awful?
Yeah.
They're so secret that they're not
or,
present.
Or was that just a ploy to get him into the headlines and
I don't know.
have everybody talk about it?
Anything is possible.
Listen.
And you know what?
Media.
Anything is possible.
Listen, you gotta think about it. It's all a game.
Meanwhile, according to the Pew Research Center, 1 out of every 10 eligible voters in the United States were immigrants who were not born in the United States of America. So more than 23 million naturalized immigrants in the United States are going to be eligible to vote. That's 1 in 10 eligible voters. It is a record high. The center's analysis is based on the U.S. Census Bureau's American Community Survey and the 2000 U.S. Census. The growth in the immigrant voting population comes at a time when immigration policy has become more and more important. All right, who's ready for the coronavirus update?
Here we go.
All right.
Lord.
We have to
Update
stay
number
posted.
1 is many people in the Brad Squad will risk their life for coronavirus just to get their hands on Yo-Yo.
Yeah.
That is the only update we need. The global
We're gonna
death
risk it all
toll.
for you, bud.
The global
I'm okay
death
with
toll, and sadly, the global death toll stands on Wednesday at 3,285 people have died. More than 2,900 of them have been in China. The worldwide count
Yeah, sir.
for confirmed coronavirus cases, that means people who actually got tested and they said, you got the virus, is 95,413.
95.
Now, that is a huge undercount because there's lots of
Huge.
people who have not been tested. Certainly in the United States, there were 158 confirmed cases in the United States, but those cases are only from people who have been severely ill and went to the hospital, or their family members who were close to the severely ill person. On Wednesday, the United States death toll stood at 11 people dead from the coronavirus.
In the U.S. that was,
In the
you said?
U.S.
Okay.
1 death was confirmed in Los Angeles, California, and now Los Angeles, California has declared a state of emergency in the entire state and announced 6 additional
That's my
coronavirus.
place. That's where my family's at.
Florida and Washington also have declared emergencies.
Oh, my God.
And I'm sure your family is saying, oh my God, Yo-Yo's in New York, because there are cases
Yeah.
in New York as well. New York has confirmed 6 cases, including a New York City healthcare worker who recently returned from Iran. In New York City, about 1,000 people have been asked to self-quarantine after 11 new cases were confirmed. And unfortunately, Boss Lady, there has now been 1 confirmed case in New Jersey.
Yeah, I'm reading it right now.
Near where you live.
Yeah, it is near where I live. I'm
Yes.
walking with caution.
Now-
By the hospital by me, Hackensack.
Oh, no.
Now, yesterday, Donald Trump unexpectedly dropped in on a White House meeting of airline executives and health officials trying to reassure the traveling public that flying remains safe. When reporters asked what precautions people should take before getting on a flight, health officials in the White House Roosevelt Room urged the flying public to wash their hands and not touch their face. Trump, a self-acknowledged germaphobe, joked. Let's watch.
And I haven't touched my face in weeks. In weeks.
Mr. President,
I miss it.
It's easy for me to believe.
You know, what's not funny
He's so.
What's not funny is that the World Health Organization has announced that the death rate among reported coronavirus patients is now 3.4%, a far higher percentage than what was previously stated. Now, Trump denies that these numbers are accurate. He went on Hannity last night after the World Health Organization and the Centers for Disease Control is saying we are on pandemic levels now. The death rate is 3.4%. He went on Sean Hannity last night and basically said that these numbers are not correct. Now, he tweeted, now Trump specifically said on Hannity, if we have thousands or hundreds of thousands of people that get better just by sitting around and even going to work, some of them go to work, but they get better. So he was saying that basically there are hundreds of thousands of people walking around with coronavirus right now, and they're just getting better. Now, nobody knows this for a fact, okay? This is Donald Trump's hunch sitting in the Oval Office, not touching his face for weeks, okay? And scoffing down hamburgers. And he has a hunch about this, and his hunch is far better knowledgeable, is much more knowledgeable than the World Health Organization and the Centers for Disease Control. Wow. So he backtracked a little bit today. He said, he tweeted, I never said people that are feeling sick should go to work. This is just more fake news and disinformation put out by the Democrats, in particular MSDNC. I don't know what MSDNC is. Comcast covers the coronavirus situation horribly, only looking to do harm to the incredible and successful effort being made. Now, the reason why Donald Trump is promoting, there's no problem with coronavirus, is because he doesn't want the economy to sink. Because if the economy sinks, there's no way he's getting elected again. And then if there's no way he's getting elected again and Joe Biden becomes president of the United States, I can tell you the first thing that will happen is multiple prosecutions of Donald Trump. So he will go to jail, and if there is a coronavirus outbreak, he will get it in jail. Let's go to the video. Let's watch.
But again, they don't know about the easy cases because the easy cases don't go to the hospital. They don't report to doctors or the hospital in many cases. Personally, I would say the number is way under 1%.
So
the easy cases, he calls it.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
deathly flu.
Meanwhile, across the globe, Italy closed schools for 2 weeks. So there's no school going on in Italy right now. In Seoul, Korea, they are bringing murder charges against a church who denied having members who had coronavirus and refused to allow members to be tested. Iran is one of the world's worst cases going on with coronavirus right now. 92 people have died. 3,000 people have been confirmed sick. They have canceled Friday prayers that devout Muslims normally perform in a communal setting.
Wow.
Israeli health authorities ordered everyone from a central Israel high school and dozens of soccer fans into home quarantine after their possible exposure by a teen boy who tested positive. Saudi Arabia has banned its citizens from pilgrimages to Mecca. That is their most holy site. The country has banned foreigners from Mecca as of last week. And the United States Surgeon General has some tips to combat coronavirus. He said, number one, elbow bump. No more handshaking. You elbow bump.
I do my foot.
And then when you wash your hands, you should sing happy birthday to yourself slowly. And then you will know after washing your hands with soap and singing happy birthday to yourself slowly that your hands are clean. It takes that long to wash the coronavirus off your hands. Now the Surgeon General Jerome Adams says, we cannot hermetically seal the United States. We're encouraging communities to think about the steps they can take to limit the spread within communities to mitigate the effects of the virus. Now, former CDC Director Dr. Tom Frieden also says we should probably rethink the handshake for a while. Now, Chinese people, they've been afraid to shake hands for a while now amid the coronavirus outbreak, and they developed a new foot-to-foot greeting known as the Wuhan Shake. Let's watch. This is the Wuhan shake.
That's how I shake.
That's how you shake?
Yeah.
Yeah? Wuhan shake?
The Wuhan shake.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like elbow better. I'm like,
I like the elbow too.
I like
Aside
elbow.
from
You getting too close.
Aside from coronavirus being, I feel like even this is something we should just be doing in general.
I was just about to say that, like, thinking about touching other people's hands, and like now it's just because of the coronavirus we're thinking
Being
about
more
like
alert.
the germs and stuff. But like
I've
seen so many people pick their nose, cough in their hands, sneeze, just touch nasty stuff. And
how
the
many
fact
people
that
are you watching pick your nose?
Like on the subway.
On
the subway, they're picking nose?
Absolutely.
Yeah, some people are.
But just thinking about all the people
They
that do that.
can't like put their head behind the newspaper and do it like
No, that's
incognito.
This is the thing, like, you know, you don't really think about other people watching you, you know? Like, if you're in your own world,
Or I went to
I
the
know
bank.
people who ride public transportation, you see nasty stuff all the time.
I went to the bank today, and before all of this coronavirus, they have Purell right next to the keypad. That wasn't there before.
Yeah.
Weeks
it's
ago,
just-
it should always
we were really
be
dirty.
I mean, really, we were. Like, even at the ATM, like, now I'm in a place where I'm, like, touching stuff with my phone.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not directly pressing buttons on elevators, but I should have always been doing that.
Well, you know what's funny is when Yo-Yo and I went to the Starbucks to get you your coffee.
Because it took both of you.
It took us both.
It
We had
did.
to make sure we got the right order. We screwed it up. Both of us. Would you believe us? Two smart guys and we can't get the order right?
Wait, so what happened at the coffee shop?
So no,
No,
when we went,
downstairs.
Yo-Yo'll tell you when we went to press the button on the elevator. What did I do?
He used
I hit it
his
with. I
elbow.
used it with my elbow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's like a whole Purell sanitizer
That's right.
downstairs by the
It wasn't
guy
there
who
before.
was not there before.
That is right. That
Did you
is
guys
right.
see how much, like, because it's sold out everywhere. Did you guys see how much Amazon is selling these sanitizers for?
No.
It's like two, like you could either get two or packs of 4. They're like $40,
What is this?
$50.
These sanitizer do?
Regular, like
Purell?
$3 Purells.
Yeah.
Yeah, they like skyrocketed it because it's sold out everywhere. But you know what? I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of knowledge. Make your own. Just get aloe vera, alcohol, some essential oils, get a little bottle. Voila.
Could we put that also in a scented candle and make that smell like Yo-Yo?
That was our Brad
Yes,
Show
right,
DIY of the day.
Right, that's
Do that at home,
And by the
folks.
way, if you want to smell like apartment 9J, just follow those same exact
I'll
instructions.
tell you which essential oils.
Meanwhile, this is so ridiculous. A woman was been watering her plants for 2 weeks, and she finally found out that her plants were fake. Yeah.
Trifling.
Yes, it's a trifling, exactly. That's, by the way, that's your new word of the day,
Yeah, that is
trifling.
right.
I've heard that many times.
There's a
now.
lot of trifling
Yeah.
news that you
Callie Wilkes shared the funny story on Facebook, which has since gone viral. Wilkes said she found out the plant was fake while she was trying to move it to a new vase. She says, I decided it was time to transplant. I found the cutest little vase. I go to pull it from the original plastic container to learn that it was fake. Now,
Wow.
That is so funny.
Now I
Heartbreak.
don't know if she's blind, not the smartest woman in the world. How do you not know it's a fake plant for 2
Hey,
years?
or she probably got it from a really great place, like, I don't know, a West Elm or something, where they do like a really great job at
I know, because those are those plants
fake
where
plants.
yeah,
like the little
they already-
cactusy ones.
Yeah, they already feel
Because the
kinda
real
fake.
thing, exactly, the real
Right.
thing feels a little fake.
Now she says that it was beautiful plant coloring. It was just an overall perfect plant. In reality, the succulent plant was plastic and sat on a styrofoam with sand glued at the top. So she writes, I feel like these last 2 years has been a lie. They have been.
Absolutely.
You know, since her story has been shared, thousands and thousands of times, it even caught the attention of Home Depot, who sent her a text message. It says, Home Depot found the closest Home Depot and had them on my doorstep the same day. New plants from Home
dang.
Depot.
Social media
Yes.
can be a great place.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey,
Absolutely.
we just have to do good things with the
So I
platform.
thought that was
That's
that
so
was
funny.
kind of ridiculous. And here's something else that's kind of funny, and then we'll get into our immigration questions. A YouTuber went to Bali. Did you see that?
No.
Except he never went to Bali. He faked all his pictures at a local
God.
IKEA. And
What?
it was a woman, yes. A popular social media user decided to see if she can fake a vacation to Bali. So instead of
my
going to the
gosh.
popular tourist
weak.
destination, she went to a nearby IKEA and used some very specific angles to trick her followers. Natalia Taylor posted
these are
several
great.
photos of her Instagram page, which has 337,000 followers, claiming to be on vacation in Bali. The first set of photos was simply captioned, "The Queen has arrived." The various photos show Taylor at IKEA displays, but they were carefully shot to cut out most telltale signs from the store. Based on the comments, it appears that her followers believed she was really in Bali. Taylor also posted a video to her YouTube page where she described Bali as, quote, "the perfect place to fake an influencer vacation and lie to all my
Do you
followers."
see that comment
Right.
there? I know this is an IKEA. I see the price tag. I've seen this exact furniture there.
This is the thing. When you have that many people following you, you don't fake-ish.
No.
Don't fake anything.
You don't
because,
fake a trip to Bali.
Listen, everybody will find out. They will find out somehow.
Now, I want you to know, if I was following her, the first thing that I would do would be unfollow. I mean, why would you try to make me look like a fool and want to follow you, right?
I mean, someone wise, I don't know
Nah,
who
I'm
it
in
was,
Bali
once
too.
said, "Fake it till you make it," and that's what she did.
What do you
But
think, Yo-Yo?
that's the thing with social media, man. Like it's
not real.
It's not real.
It's not
just
real.
So
Not
many
real.
people
Some
just
things can
fake
be
it.
real, but a lot of people fake it like a trip to Bali.
Well,
That's
I
crazy.
think what a lot of people fake is real-time stuff. Like they'll post things in
Well,
their
yeah.
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 that happened yesterday or
Yeah.
2 days
Oh,
ago.
yeah, that's
okay.
That
definitely a thing.
I
happens.
think
That
that's
happens all the
okay.
time.
But,
right,
like-
but when you fake actually being in a place,
Like in a location.
So there was this whole like before we end up there's this whole Bow Wow challenge. Lil Bow Wow, you know Lil
Yes.
Bow Wow,
Yeah,
the
sure.
rapper. He was Instagramming
ex-rapper, it's
ex-rapper,
like
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, whatever. But said that he was in a private jet, and
was he,
literally posted
JetBlue?
it. No, he said he was in a private jet.
Right.
He took a picture. He showed a picture of a private jet. He said, "About to get on my jet." And literally right after he posted it, somebody behind him in the real plane, in the actual plane, took a picture of him and tagged him and said, "You're not in anybody's private jet. You're in like economy class,
Yeah.
a regular plane."
Oh my God, he got bashed so bad.
that is
for that.
great.
Yeah.
That is great. All right, why don't we get to our immigration questions? Why don't you
Let's
tell
do it.
everybody what they need to do?
All right, guys, now it's time. Facebook, I need you guys all to start your watch parties. This is very important. It's very important to do this right now. If you did it earlier, that's great, but everybody, please do it right now. All you have to do is click share, a couple options down and say start a watch party, and click start just like that beautiful hand does. What it does is it takes the video from our page to your page. We need you guys to do that. Invite any and everybody into the comment section. Tell them to come over here too. Introduce them to the Brad Squad. Please, watch party now. What are we doing on YouTube?
On YouTube, everyone, if you haven't already, as you should, you are going to press that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you know when we are on live every day. And you can also share on YouTube, share it as a post, share it in their DMs. You're gonna thumbs up. Actually, let me do a thumbs up check-in. All right, we're at 53 thumbs up. I've been hollering in the comments about these thumbs up and reminding you guys, but you know what, Brad? I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let you answer some questions at 53. I don't wanna settle, but here we are. So make sure that you share the post. Of course, we are on Instagram, so make sure that you're following us at Brad Show Live on Instagram, where we are also live. You can share are live on Instagram as well. Slide into people's DMs, because just how you're watching right now, because you know that Brad is about to answer all these immigration questions and give you some great information that you might need, a friend might need, a family member might need. Share it. We need to get this information out there. You know how important it is for you. It might be just as important, or it is just as important to someone else. And by you sharing this post, you can change someone's situation, someone's life. That's what we're here for. So let's get to it.
All right, let's start changing lives
Yeah.
with getting answers to your immigration questions.
All right, let's see what we can do with Nicole's life from Glenburn, North Dakota. Nicole, you there?
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm okay. I'm a Canadian. I came down on the K-1 visa last summer. Got married.
Did you get married in the 90
got
days?
Yeah. I got a DUI charge 2 weeks ago. I haven't been convicted yet. It is my first offense ever, and my interview is exactly next week from now.
Oh gosh, all right. So what's going to happen is, unfortunately, you got to bring in the disposition. You got to tell them the truth. This is what happened. and they're going to keep your case open pending the final disposition of this DUI case. Hopefully it's disposed in a way where it ends up being a traffic infraction or it ends up being a low-level DUI. That won't prevent you from getting your green card. What's going to happen is there's going to be a delay now because they cannot approve your adjustment until the resolution of this DUI case.
So it's going to be delayed?
Yes, but bring the disposition in, and they should hold the case open. What you should do is make sure you pass by a very good immigration lawyer like myself. That doesn't have to be me, but somebody to make sure if they make you plead guilty to something, that what you're pleading guilty to would not prevent you from getting a green card.
Okay, so I won't get deported?
Correct. You will not get deported.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Well,
hold on if you want more information. You seem a little shaky, so hold on 1 second, all right? I don't want you to be shaky.
Okay.
All right, so hold on 1 second.
Okay.
All right. Let's go to Angela in Manhattan. Angela.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thanks. I'm doing the waiver, the abuse, but when I call Vermont for information, they're telling me that I'm not the petitioner.
Wait, the waiver, you're doing a VAWA case?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so what do you mean you're not the petitioner? You're self-petitioning on a VAWA case. You filed
That's what I've tried to explain to them, and they're saying they can't give me any information.
You filed an I-360?
Yes.
Okay, so what you've learned from all of this is one thing. When you call immigration, they don't really give you any good information. They usually screw it up. You're talking to an outside contractor who cannot really assist you much. What I would suggest you do is speak to your lawyer, or if you don't like to speak to your lawyer and they're not giving you good information, come see me. All right?
I'm going to give you a little hint. They're not taking my calls. I'm going to stop by one day next week.
Okay, hold on 1 second, okay?
All right.
All right, let's go to Kenny in Dallas. Kenny.
Hey, what's going on?
How are you?
Good. I know that, it's one of the taxes, like my wife's name is...
Wait, I don't hear you. Speak up louder.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Not really.
Oh,
Maybe take yourself off of Bluetooth. You driving?
hold on, yeah.
All right, pull over. Don't get into an accident or a ticket. Oh, there goes Kenny. All right, call back, Kenny. Let's go to Sarah in Dunedin, Florida. Sarah.
Hi, it's Dunedin, but close
okay,
enough.
Close enough. Okay, what's going on?
I had filed my petition, and I wanted to make sure that I did it before the 24th. So even if it was rejected, it was grandfathered. Obviously, it was rejected. I knew it was going to get rejected. It's a financial issue. I'm a 1099, and of course, I write everything off, which I probably shouldn't have.
When you say rejected, it was returned to you, or they gave you an RFE for additional documentation?
The additional documentation.
Okay, fine. So
I
you're
have
okay.
87 days.
Fine. Okay.
Which I have now 87 days, which is less now because it's been a couple of weeks.
Sure.
Now I'm obviously looking for a co-sponsor. And I found somebody who's willing to co-sponsor for me, but I was told that because they are also a 1099, it can't show that this is what they're going to make, this upcoming year.
No,
even though I provided the last 3 years of tax returns, and it shows that for the last 3 years after taxes, they still make enough to sponsor.
Then that's all that's required. Okay, they look at the last 3 years. It's past based under the old laws. The future, in new laws, it's future based. But if you're under the old laws, it's past based. And past based means you look at your net income on your 1040 return, not the gross income from their 1099, but the net. And if the net is enough, 125% above the poverty level for both their family and your family for the last 3 years, you've satisfied your requirements.
Okay, and what is the poverty rate?
125% above the poverty level. I don't know how many people in the family.
Mine or theirs?
Both.
I guess total it would be
You add up the number of dependents themselves. If it's filed jointly, it would be 2, and the number of dependents on their tax returns plus you and your spouse, plus however dependents on your tax returns for you and your spouse.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, and then what you do is you can Google, okay, you then Google poverty guidelines, most recent poverty guidelines, which would be for 2020, and then you add up the number of people, go on your calculator, multiply times 1.25, and now you know if you're above or below.
Understood. Okay.
All right?
All right, I appreciate it, Brad.
Okay, good luck. Let's go to Lenny in Newark, New Jersey. Lenny.
Hey, Brad.
Hey,
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Very good. Listen, my question is about my VAWA application. I submitted last year I-360, I-765, and I-485. I did biometrics. I received the prima facie a month later. But up to now, like a year later, I haven't received the working permit. So
do you
is
file
that
the
normal?
No. Did you file the I-765?
Yes, I did.
And it's 1 year and you didn't get it? No, it's not normal.
No, I haven't got it.
All right, that's not normal. Did you follow up with immigration? Did you go online to see if it was approved? It's just still says pending.
Well, it says that they received, and they will send me a notice, but I haven't received anything else.
No, that is not normal. The only thing I can tell you is come see us, and we'll see what we can do to help you. But that is not normal.
Okay.
All right, hold on 1 second.
So can you transfer?
Yep. Let's go to RHONA in Rockville, Maryland. RHONA.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay.
What can I do to help?
I have a question to ask you, maybe two. My mom filed for my sister, and one of them, she has kids that are like 22, and one's going to be 21 this year. The one that is 22, she got married and says she's not going to come on that filing. Can that stop immigration? My sister from hearing anything from immigration?
Right, I'm confused. Your mom filed for a 22-year-old and a 21-year-old, and
No,
one
for
doesn't
my
want to come?
sister. My sister have kids, and the kids are, one is 23 and one is going to be, he's not 21 yet.
Okay.
So,
who is the petitioner?
My mother.
Okay, so your mother filed for your sister, and she has kids, one who's 23 and one who's 21.
Yeah.
Okay, and the question is
And
what now?
the 23-year-old one got married and said she wasn't going to come on the filing.
Okay.
And so my sister, they pay for their visa now, and they're waiting for interview. So my mother is saying that because my niece says she's not coming, then my sister won't get through. Is that true?
No, not true at all.
Okay.
All right? Not true at all.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. That's
You're
what I
welcome.
wanted to know.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right, let's go to Tess in Atlanta, Georgia. Tess. Tess? Tess? Hold on, Tess. We'll get back to you. Let's go to Patricia in New Haven, Connecticut. Patricia.
Hi, Brad.
How are you?
I'm good. I just want to ask a question on behalf of my friend. So she got married to an American citizen, but he was like in prison like for 2 years for burglary. Would that cost anything pertaining to her paperwork?
No, as long as she's out there living together and he's above the poverty level and not on government assistance, all good.
Okay, thank you so much.
Let's go to Jackson in Orlando, Florida. Jackson.
Hello?
Hey, how are you?
Yes, I'm doing well, sir. How are you doing?
Good. What can I do to help?
Okay. So I got a question, please. The question is, I am married with a U.S. citizen since 2018. I already filled out the I-130, I-22 immigration, since December 2018.
Right.
Since that time, so I only received the notice, but I never received anything else.
You never got a work permit?
Yes, so we already sent the I-130.
You have a work permit?
Yes, I already got the work permit because I got another case pending, asylum. I got an asylum pending too.
Okay, so you got to withdraw the asylum.
And I went to the court last week. The judge.
All right. So the reason why you haven't heard anything is because you're in removal proceedings with an immigration judge. So you're not doing the right procedure. So what you need to do is get the I-130 approved, then go to a judge, ask the judge to terminate your removal proceedings so you can file an adjustment.
Okay, so
you should not have filed. You should not have filed an adjustment until you did that. That's why you haven't heard anything, probably.
Okay, so anyway, so I have to wait for the approval, right?
The approval of the I-130.
Okay, even so, I sent because I didn't send yet the I-485.
Okay, so you did all right. So then you did the right thing. Okay, it does take some time because you're in removal.
Okay.
All right, hang in there. And it's been what? It's been 2 years now?
Sorry?
How long has it been? About a year and 3 months, a year and 2 months, I think, right? I'm adding in my head?
Yes, so I sent it since 2018, December 2018.
All right, so December 2019, yeah, about a year and 3 or 4 months. In Florida?
Yes, I'm in Florida.
All right, so, your choices are to hang in there and wait for an interview where you're going to get separated between you and your spouse. You're going to get the Stokes interview, prove it's a bona fide marriage because the presumption is that you got married to avoid deportation. You're in removal proceedings right now. Or since it's been pending for more than a year, we can file a mandamus if you want to try to move it along.
Okay.
All right, hold on 1 second. Those would be your choices.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right. Let's go to Tom in Hartford. Tom.
Hello, Brad.
Hi, Tom.
I have a quick question for you. Sometimes in February 1996, a friend of mine attempted to cross the border, attempted to enter the U.S. with a fake U.S. passport.
This was when? In 1996?
1996.
When?
Sometimes in February 1996. We don't know the exact
But
date.
it was February 96.
96, yeah.
But February, it's very important because the laws changed in April of 96.
Okay. It's February.
Perfect.
96.
All right, so he's under the old laws.
And she was detained and deported within 30 days.
Okay.
But she later married a U.S. Citizen, and through the marriage, entered here with a green card.
Great. But never told them when she got her green card, they never realized she had this false claim to U.S. citizenship previously, correct?
Yeah, her encounter during the 96 never came up,
Right.
and she never disclosed that during the process, the application process.
Mm-hmm.
And she now wants to apply for U.S. citizen.
It's going to be discovered when she applies for her citizenship. They're going to say you made a misrepresentation when you applied for your green card because you never told us that you were previously deported for making a false claim to citizenship, even though the government should have known. They didn't know because back then they were a little less on top of things than they are now. She would be eligible to file. She would have been eligible at the time to file a waiver because the false claim to citizenship was prior to April 96. If the false claim to citizenship was after April 96, that would have been a permanent bar to getting a green card. She'd be in a much bigger problem. She also needed a waiver to re-enter after a prior order, inadmissibility order. I don't know when she came back. So she has multiple issues. It will all resurface when she becomes a citizen. There are ways in which to file this waiver at this point in time now, when it does resurface for her citizenship. What I would suggest we do is this. Before I say go do A, B, C, D, this is one of those situations where you would need to get an entire copy of her immigration records through something called the Freedom of Information Act request. It's like, sometimes I've said this before. Doctors don't operate without x-rays. This is one of those situations where lawyers shouldn't operate without x-rays either. And let's get the full story, make sure what she believes happened is what happened, and then we can put together a procedure to get her her green card, her waivers, her citizenship. But this will absolutely come up in her citizenship interview. We want to be prepared for it. We want to be proactive about it. So I would not willy-nilly file her citizenship application until we get her records and we know how to proceed.
All right. Thank you so much,
Hold
Brad.
on one second. Let's go to Andre in the Bronx. Andre.
Hi, I am a U.S. citizen, and I would like to file for my parents and my sister. However, my sister has Down syndrome, so she can't really take care of herself. And I know filing for siblings is like 10 years. And is there any provision for that?
No, as a matter of fact, it's unfortunately going to be even harder now. So what you're going to ultimately do is file for your parents. Your parents would then have to file for your sister. That would be faster. But because of the new affidavit of support requirements and the poverty guideline rules that Donald Trump changed, you have to show that your sister ultimately is going to be able to be self-supportive, which you wouldn't be able to because she has Down syndrome, number one. And number two, you're going to have to show that you're going to be able to pay for all her medical bills without the U.S. government paying for it, which will be hard too unless you already have prepaid health insurance and you have lots of money coming in to pay for all of the additional fees that health insurance wouldn't cover. So sadly, you're going to have big problems. I would suggest have a consultation. I don't have the answer off the top of my head for you.
Okay, thank you.
Hold on one second. Let's go to Philip in Anaheim, California. Philip.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good. What's going on?
Yeah, I called like 10 days ago and about my case because I got the PC-1000 in a pretrial diversion program.
Right.
And I got an interview in 2 weeks. And I just wanted to ask you, today actually, I went in front of the judge, and he told me that the PC-1000 is for a year, but the program by itself is basically for 3 months. So he said after those 3 months, I can come in front of the court, in front of the judge again after I finish the program, and after 3 months, I can basically tell them I'm done and everything, so they can dismiss it in 3 months, not in a year. So should I write a letter to USCIS and ask them before I go to interview for an extension for 3 months from now and just go there with clean record?
No, because they're going to ignore your letter. No one's going to read it.
Okay.
You need to show up to an interview with proof that you have this pending case, and they'll say come back in they'll schedule you again and say come back in 3 months when it's done with the dismissal letter, or in 3 months you'll send it in. They'll give you instructions on what to do.
Okay, so they shouldn't deny it, right? Or can they deny it?
Absolutely, they can deny it. They can say you don't have good moral character today, you're denied. And then you would have to refile again in 3 months. Hopefully they don't do that because they would just be spinning your wheels.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And
But
because
you writing
if
a letter is not going to do anything. You got to show up to the interview.
Right, but so if they deny me, can I refile again and stay in here, or do I get the deportation order or something?
Well, you're not going to get a deportation order. There's possibility that they'll put you in removal. If they deny you, you'd refile again, and by the time you get a new interview, your case would be resolved.
Okay, sounds great.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Let's go to Samuel in Sacramento, California. Samuel.
Yeah. Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. Good evening, Mr. Brad. Actually, I have a few questions for you. I'm a conditional green card holder. And my wife actually filed for me in 2018. I came to the country September 2018. And after that, we lived together for a couple of months, like 8 to 9 months. And from there, we have differences, and she called the cops on me, and I was arrested. And later on, I was bailed out. No charges was filed against me, and they sent me a kind of a letter or something to just straighten things out. So I was okay, and after that, she filed a restraining order as well. And to cut the story short, everything was denied. So now I filed for divorce. So we're on the divorce case right now. And eventually we had a child. So what I want to ask is, now that we're on a divorce case and I'm about to put in for my removal of condition on my green card. Actually, the first year, we actually had a same, we filed joint.
Well, you had a child together, so that goes a long way to proving it's a real marriage. And the fact that you are divorced, as long as you can prove it was a real marriage, you get to keep your green card. I would say having a child together brings you 99% of the way there. Because people don't enter into business marriages and then say, let's have a child so we can prove it was a real marriage. You usually don't do that.
Yeah.
All right?
It was a right thing, yeah. So, yeah, because I'll be removing condition next few months.
So, yeah, I think you're going to be okay. I think you're going to be okay because you have that child.
All right. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Let's go to Ross in Fort Worth, Texas. Ross. Ross.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
Good. What's going on?
Thank God I can speak with you today. Please, I used to follow your program. I'm really glad. It helped me out last year to get my green card.
Mm-hmm.
Then my husband wanted to fight for my son. I'm from Nigeria. My husband wanted to fight for my son that is he's going to be 18 years by August. Is this ban going to affect us?
Unfortunately, yes. Hopefully, we have a new president in 7 months. That ban will be lifted. Let your husband file the I-130 in the meantime.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
File the I-130, no matter of the ban, yes or no ban, file the I-130 for your son. There may be because there may be courts who overturn it. We may have a new president who overturns it, but start the process.
Okay. Maybe I will get in touch with you. I think I can't do it alone.
Yeah, okay, hold on one second. All right, hold on 1 second. All right, so with that being said, in today's Spar and Bernstein close-up, immigration attorney Shannon Laguerre-Mengret talks about some common misconceptions people have about immigration law. Let's watch.
I would say the biggest misconception that people have about immigration law is that these are forms that can be filled out by anyone. And a lot of times people don't realize that what you put on those forms usually can be used against you later on, not only just at the interview, but also if you end up in immigration court. So I tell a lot of people, make sure that you go to an experienced attorney that can assist you. Even though you may feel like, I know the questions, I know what's going on, and I can fill it out, there's certain terminology that needs to be put on those forms that a notario, yourself, or just someone who basically have done just forms may not be able to understand. So it's really important to go to an attorney, because I think the biggest misconception is that you can go to anyone to actually assist you with those forms. Tax preparers will sometimes file those forms. Interestingly enough, you now have the Attorney General's office who's reaching out and basically prosecuting a lot of these notarios, paralegals, these tax preparers, because they understand that immigrants are being preyed upon and basically are being placed in immigration court due to the fact that they are fraudulent applications being submitted on their behalf, and that's why it's really important basically to reach out to an experienced attorney.
Successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. So, by the way, if you didn't get your immigration questions answered, we are going to get into our social media check-in in a few minutes. You could also follow me on @RealBradBernstein on Instagram. The real Brad Bernstein. It was fake Brad Bernstein.
Yes.
Okay, do not follow Scruffy Brad. That's also fake. The only person you should be following is real Brad Bernstein. And if I know who you are, you seem to look familiar to me, part of the Brad squad, part of the aquatic squad, right? We have a new aquatic squad as well. You can drop me a DM. I'll try to answer your immigration questions as best as I can. You can also follow us at Brad Show Live. And Nesquick has a little info on at Brad Show Live about our contest for the free consultation.
PSA. I have not mentioned it today, but you guys do not forget that we still have our $200 value consultation contest still going on Instagram. Absolutely free. These consultations with Brad are worth $200. All you have to do is follow us at Brad Show Live. Find this post. You are going to like this post. And to enter your name into the name machine, all you have to do is comment, tag 5 friends, comment again, tag another 5 friends. Every time that you comment and tag 5 friends or more, hey, we say 5, but feel free to tag more. Every time that you comment and tag friends and share, you know how much we love to share here. Sharing is caring. You enter your name multiple times into the name machine, and on hump day, we will pull out those names or pull out that name and see who wins the consultation.
There we go.
And do you want anyone to follow you, or you're not interested?
Sure. While we're
Why
already
not?
here,
While we're on the subject.
You can find me at Vanessa.Contreras TV.
And you guys can find me at Yonathan Elias TV.
So meanwhile, Nesquick recently spoke with personal injury attorney David Levy about one of our clients who was severely injured in a hit and run. Our client had no idea the name of the person who hit her. Yeah. We had no information on the car, what type of car, who was in the car, who was driving.
Nothing.
All we know is that a car hit her, disappeared, and David Levy was still able to get her a really nice verdict. Let's watch.
Hey Brad Squad, Vanessa Contreras here, and I'm with Spar and Bernstein's personal injury attorney, David Levy, who is sharing with me today a recent case in which he went toe-to-toe against the other side for his client, literally and figuratively, winning him an incredible verdict. David, so if you could just give us the details on the case.
A 60-year-old man who had just finished working. It was about 5 p.m. in the afternoon. And as he was crossing the street, he was the victim of a hit and run.
What exactly happened? What kind of injuries did he attain?
He was a pedestrian crossing the street. He had the signal in his favor, the traffic light gave him permission to cross the street. As he was crossing the street, a vehicle comes out of nowhere, runs a red light, runs over his right foot, and then as he's on the ground, leaves the scene of the accident. Because of the way the injury happened, the amount of pain that he was in, he never had the opportunity to obtain the license plate. So essentially he was left there stranded, and he was later diagnosed with a fractured toe.
Okay, David, so in your client's case, what do you do when you're not able to obtain important information, the minimal information like a license plate, to follow up with the case?
So in situations where somebody is involved in a hit and run, whether they're pedestrians or whether they're in cars, obviously the first thing that you do in any case is you investigate. So you try to find any surveillance in the area, any video footage, any witnesses. And if there's no way to do any of that and you come up empty, then you have an entity that's known as the Motor Vehicle Accident Indemnification Corporation. People refer to it as MVAC for short. And what that basically is, it's a fictitious entity that New York State created to help victims of hit and run accidents. So anybody who has a car and pays a car insurance, they are able to pull up their insurance policy right now and see that a portion of their premiums actually goes to funding this fictitious entity created by the state. And of course, the policy behind this is anybody who's a victim of a hit and run, they basically have nobody to hold accountable for these injuries.
Yeah.
Because the person who caused the accident left the scene. So who are you suing?
Yeah.
So the state, in its wisdom, created this entity. And what this entity does, it essentially steps into the shoes of the person who fled the scene of the accident. And instead of suing nobody, you're suing this entity who assumes, just for the purposes of this lawsuit, the entity of the defendant, the driver in this case.
Of course, you have to prove that the incident truly occurred the way that the victim says. How do you go about that?
So in this case, there were a couple of issues with the way the accident happened. Our client testified that there was no witnesses in the area, that there were no other vehicles in the area, and the defense counsel, they didn't find that credible because it was during rush hour on a very busy street. And they assumed and thought that there would have been other people and other vehicles in the area, but there weren't. So as a result, they were refusing to compensate my client anything, And in fact, at no point in time did they ever offer our client more than $9,000. Because of the gaps in the testimony and of the fact, the defense counsel did not find the testimony credible.
And okay, so this case was taken to trial because of the MV Act. Now, what's the difference between a settlement and a verdict?
So our firm does not settle cases unless we feel that we are getting maximum value, maximum compensation for our clients and for what the injuries are worth. In this case, because they weren't offering more than $9,000, we found it insulting, quite frankly. They had two bases for their opinions. They said, number one, it's only a broken toe. How much is a broken toe worth? And number two, they didn't find our client credible. So when we feel that we're not getting just compensation for our clients, we take it to trial and we get a verdict. Now, a settlement is basically when the other side comes up with an offer and we negotiate with them, and if our client finds the amount of money being offered to be adequate and just compensation, then we settle it. But if the amount of money is not adequate and we feel that it's not sufficient to cover the accident and the injuries, we take the case all the way to trial. And at trial, that's when you actually pick a jury, you're in front of a judge, you present your case to the jury, and then the jury makes a determination of what the case is worth. After a 3-day trial in front of a jury, well, we were able to get a jury verdict for our client of $80,000 as opposed to the $9,000 that was originally being offered by the defense counsel.
Wow, great work. That is a huge jump. David, thank you so much for sharing this case with us for the Brad Squad. To be familiar with all the great work that we do here at Spar and Bernstein, and you already know, Brad Squad, if you need to reach any of our personal injury attorneys, you can call 1-800-529-5465.
Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. All right, so it's that time of the evening, Yo-Yo and Boss Lady.
Yeah.
Boss Lady. What are you looking at, Yo-Yo?
His computer just powered
So
off,
I need to delay.
No, we'll read it together.
Gonna
right
read
here.
it together.
Yeah.
Nothing
we'll
like
share
a
a screen.
nothing like a little togetherness, right?
Yeah, he was having trouble with his charger earlier.
All right then, Julian. Let's do something we like to call social media check-in.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Yeah, this is so trifling.
This is trifling. Can we look up the definition of trifling?
I wonder if there is.
I'm not even sure.
What Urban Dictionary.
Let's
Urban
look.
Dictionary.
Urban Dictionary or Webster's?
No, definitely not in Webster's.
Trifling.
All right, guys.
1 second.
Oh.
Trifling means it's really trivial.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
this is. I mean, this situation
yeah.
with
It's
this
trivial?
charger, when has this ever happened?
Yeah.
Unimportant.
Huh?
It's trivial and unimportant.
No.
Trifling.
Unimported.
Unimportant.
Unimportant?
Unimportant. That's what
not
Webster says.
That's not what trifling
No, Webster
is.
doesn't have how
That's what I'm saying. You got to go on Urban Dictionary.
But in Urban Dictionary, it's sneaky and shady.
Yeah.
So you're
this,
saying
my computer's being real shady
right now, which is different.
Way different
than
Webster.
Webster, which says unimportant.
There you go.
This is obviously very important.
Yes. So let's get to the first question.
This Webster is very square.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
why I
a
said you
square.
can't
Webster
show off
square.
that.
Square.
All right, guys. So JN Pereira is saying, hey, guys, I filed a VAWA. Haven't received my receipt yet. I received a letter from the field office asking me to submit a VAWA receipt to Convert. Okay, I think they misspelled it. Convert pending I-485 under VAWA before March 24th. My question is, can I get an extension if I don't receive my VAWA receipt before the RFE deadline?
No, but hopefully you'll get it before March 24th.
Okay, this one comes from Nikki Douglas, and she says, hey, Brad, my friend is filing for his wife who is in another country, but the case has transferred to my local office. Why would this happen? July of this year, they would be married for 2 years. They filed the I-130.
Sometimes they transfer to a local office because they want to interview you.
Okay, Kole Wole is saying, my I-130 is approved for my wife and they're in Nigeria. Is this suspension, will that affect their coming to America?
Yes.
Okay, and the next one comes
This is very
from-
trifling.
See?
It's very shady what's going on right now.
Look at this.
Very, very, very shady.
Look at my computer.
Very shady. Very shady.
This one comes from Oscar, and he says, "Hey Brad, my wife is on Obamacare. Can this affect my filing for green card? And she is 12 years older than me. I'm 45 and she is 57.
Obamacare is not going to affect you, but the 12-year age difference, they may question the validity of your marriage, but 12 years is not a big deal these days.
Not that bad.
Do you think it's that bad?
No, my parents are 10.
Yeah, my parents are 10 too.
My girlfriend's 13 years younger than me.
Oh, I mean.
There you go.
And I'm scruffy.
You're scruffy, and she
And,
still wants
and
ya.
she still wants me. Shocking.
Melanie saying, my son is in the Air Force and is a citizen. How long will it take when he files for me? And also, how long will it take for me to get my girls ages 10 and 17 up after I file for them? How much will it cost?
Your son will be about 12 to 18 months for you, and then when you come up to file for your children, another 12, 18 months.
And do you know how much it'll cost for the son to file for me and me for the girls?
There's a $535 filing fee for each I-130 visa petition.
Does anyone that works in any sort of the Navy, the Air Force, does any of the immigration
Yeah, it helps them.
Does it speed the process up at all?
It doesn't speed them up, but their poverty guidelines are much easier.
That was just a question for me, because I was curious.
Yes.
This one comes from Flawless Mama. My friend is married to a U.S. citizen who is filing for herself and 3 kids after filing taxes. He owes the IRS $2,000. Will her application be approved if he pays part of the money to IRS, or does he have to settle all his debt to IRS?
No, you don't have to settle all your debt.
Okay, Sharon saying, I have a question. Can I sue my crazy husband for libel? He accused me that I forgot his signature on the I-751 form back in 2015, which I didn't do. 2016, got my 10-year green card, worried for my citizenship.
I'm not going to sue him. Just become a citizen. Move on.
The next one comes from Edgar Ben, and they ask, a U.S. citizen who filed the I-130 visa petition for his spouse for over 6 months now. Please, is the ban in Nigeria going to affect the case? If so, what could be the best option to get him over?
Well, file anyway, and I believe eventually there's going to be a court that overturns the ban, and hopefully Joe Biden will overturn it when he becomes president.
Ooh, nice.
Right.
Okay, Norwegian citizen here. I've been here in America once before for 90 days on the ESTA. ESTA. This is my second stay on ESTA. My ESTA status expired on the 28th of March. I want to marry my lovely fiance. We do not want to be apart any longer. Our initial goal is to move to my country, but in the meantime, we would like to spend time together. Last, we were 4 months apart and it was horrible, but our love is strong, so we made it no problem. All right. Now here's the deal.
We're getting to the deal. After he let us in on an awe moment, he's like, I want you to understand, Brad. We love each other, Brad. That's a love story.
All right, so now
that was like I just felt like two like cats, you know.
Right.
Why did this inquiry come in on Valentine's Day?
Right. All right, so what do we do? Do we marry before the ESTA time expires? Or do we wait until it expires and then file for a petition for spouse on her side? So what do we do? We're going to search for an application for her to be allowed to stay in Norway as well.
Okay. All right. She's in the United States right now?
Yes.
Okay.
I
Wait.
believe
Do not even buy a license for marriage until 91 days. And then you got to wait a day and get married on day 92, and then you can file your papers on day 93. There will be 3 days. 3 days. 3 days. I can't do. My fingers are all.
Yeah, you can't do that.
I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it.
3 days.
I can't do it. 3 days. Just read my lips. 3 days.
There you go.
That you're going to be out of status, but it's not the end of the world. You just file your adjustment.
Alrighty, there goes the answer to that love story.
Yes.
The next one comes from Ciao Bella, and they ask for.
Because, by the way, I don't mean to interrupt you.
Yep.
If they get married before 90 days, it will be a very sad love story. It will be like Romeo and Juliet Part 2, because she will get denied, and if her waiver is denied, she doesn't even get to see a judge for deportation. They would just rip her out of the house and deport her.
Oh wow!
And
Don't
then,
want that.
and then Romeo, oh Romeo,
Yeah.
where art thou?
All right, so
in another country.
3 days.
So wait
In
the
Norway.
91. The wait 91 days.
Chow Bella asked for a hardship waiver 601, not A. Can my LPR parents mention how sick their parents are? We help take care of them. And 2, will medical
I think I answered this question. This was the gentleman whose sister is Down syndrome. And
But
it's
they're
really
talking about
cruel.
This might be something different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They're talking about their parents.
So for a hardship waiver 601, not A, can my LPR parents mention how sick their parents are? We help take care of them. And 2,
You can mention anything you want, but the hardship goes to your parents. Now, somehow, if you're smart, you can bring in that your parents, need help taking care of their elderly parents, perhaps, or the stress of taking care of their elderly parents and then being separated from you. Maybe that's an emotional hardship to them, an added emotional hardship. So there's ways to bring it in.
Okay.
And they had the second part.
Yeah, or and my 2, will medical records
But
be enough to prove, or will I need more?
Ultimately, you need a lawyer.
Oh.
Okay, so if you think you're going to get waivers approved by yourself, I've seen in my entire career, one person. I only know of one person I've actually ever seen get a waiver approved based on extreme and unusual hardship when they never used a lawyer.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I mean, it is very rare.
Okay. All right, Muhammad Sadiq saying, my case is a SIDGE, and I got my I-360 petition approved and got an RFE for the I-485, and it's been 100 days. Still no decision. When should I expect to get a response from USCIS?
29 Super C is asking for the magic 8 ball. She was just waiting for that.
Mm-hmm.
What was the question again? When is he going to get his green card? When?
It's been 100 days.
100
no
days.
decision.
No decision.
What does it say?
I don't like that answer. It says very doubtful. I don't know.
We don't like that.
We don't like that. I just read them as we see them. The magic 8 ball is usually right.
Yeah.
So when it says it's doubtful, you'll get a decision shortly. That means you're going to be waiting a little longer. The answer is I have no idea when you're going to get a decision. Nobody knows.
Okay, this one comes from Tanya Moe, and she asks, I am in Jamaica, F2B category, priority date current, submitted all documents on CEAC, and I am awaiting my case to be reviewed. Do I have to redo affidavit of support based on the new rule?
No.
Okay.
Wait for them to ask for it.
Oh, you're back.
I'm back.
Don't do anything. Just
I'm
wait.
back, y'all.
You only do things in response to what a National Visa Center asks you to do.
Okay, we have our next one from Daniel.
You're back.
I'm back.
Yeah.
So it's no longer trifling.
It's still trifling for what it did to
Shady.
me. Daniel Cadalis saying, is it possible to ask NVC to make an appointment schedule on the same date for my wife and children because I filed differently in case this is in a schedule step at NVC?
I doubt it, but you could always ask.
Okay, this one comes from Hampton Smith. Good day, team. My interview is coming up in 2 weeks in next month. I got a certified dismissal case from the court. Is it a good look for me in my interview next month?
Is it a good look? It's a good look to have a dismissal over a conviction. What do you think? Given the 2 different looks.
Not too sure if it's a good look.
But it's a better look.
Yeah, than
having a conviction.
Yeah.
Given the choice, Yo-Yo.
Yes.
You're a smart man.
Okay.
Given the choice of showing up to immigration with, in one hand, here's my conviction. In the other hand,
it was dismissed.
Here's my case that was dismissed. Which hand would you choose?
The dismiss.
There, I think it's a good look. I think it's a good look.
Yes. All right. Samantha saying, I just became a U.S. citizen. I'll be filing for my elderly mother. If USCIS imposes a bond for her because of this new public charge rule, how does the bond work?
Good question. I think it's around $8,100, but they're going to request it of you. And then you would have to follow their instructions on how to pay it.
All right, this one comes from Penny.
I haven't seen how it's going to work yet. It's new.
That's new.
We'll find out.
All right.
Penny Nato asks, hello, I have a question. We are applying for citizenship in March and in need to get my son to go in for the U.S. What papers do I need to process?
Filing for March?
Yeah, I'm applying for citizenship in March and in need to get my son to go in to the U.S., so what papers do I need to process?
Well, if your son's outside of the United States, you would like him to come to America, it's an I-130 visa petition. If your son is already in the United States with a green card and you're asking, how does he too become a citizen? He would become an automatic citizen if you become a citizen and he lives with you in your legal custody and he's under the age of 18 and has a green card. I'm not sure which question they were asking.
Okay, Mohammed's saying VAWA denied with pending I-485. What next appeal or removal proceeding advice?
I don't know anything about your case. You would need to have a consultation.
Alrighty. Aisha Javed asks, does taking the federal and state funding subsidized health insurance by the U.S. spouse will come under public charge, like taking the health insurance from MA Health Connector?
No, it should not.
Massachusetts.
No, it should not.
And that's it for now.
Yep.
That's it for now. Let's see what we got here on my list here. Says countdown. We did that, right? Brad on Perv Corner. Then we did the American Dream.
Can we do just one more, quick one?
Oh, yeah, okay, because I have to go down my list here.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
Filing for my...
Say who it is, because
okay.
this is a very important one, apparently.
Fahad Siddiqui. Filing for my N400 this month. Will I include my 10-year-old speeding ticket? No, we've always said traffic tickets.
Traffic tickets don't
even
matter.
I know that one.
All right.
Well, it's important to ask that one, so.
Let's see, what do we do? We did American Dream, right?
Yep, we always do those.
Shannon spoke. David Levy spoke.
Yep.
Instagram, social media check-in. Brad answers a whole bunch of questions. I got it. Donald Trump recently extended the travel ban to include 6 more countries: Nigeria, Eritrea, Myanmar, Kyrgyzstan, Sudan, Tanzania, to his original 2017 ban. Yonathan, Yo-Yo Elias went out on the streets to test people's knowledge about these countries in a game we're calling Travel Ban Trivia. Let's watch.
What's up, Brad Squad? This is Yonathan Elias here in New York City. Now, Nigeria, Eritrea, Kyrgyzstan, Myanmar, Sudan, and Tanzania. What do these countries all have in common? They all fall under Trump's administration's new travel ban. That's right, on January 31st, 2020, the Department of Homeland Security announces the expansion of its original 2017 travel ban to include these additional 6 countries, set to take effect February 22nd. Now, officials said the new restrictions stem from national security concerns. During the unveiling of Trump's immigration plan, White House officials also told the Washington Post that the administration wants highly skilled workers who speak English. So does that mean that the people from these countries are uneducated? Are they more dangerous? We're gonna find out more with the new game called Travel Ban Trivia. Let's go. I got my new friends over here. What's your name?
Danielle. Lona.
Yes, and where are you guys from?
London.
Woo! You ready to play Travel Ban Trivia?
Yes.
Woo! I like that energy. How you doing today?
Very well, thank you.
Gino, how you doing?
My name is Mark, and I'm from the Netherlands.
Ooh, from the Netherlands. Can I go with you? Can I go back?
Come with us. We're taking you home.
Awesome. All right, so you guys ready to play Travel Ban Trivia?
We are. Yes, we are.
Okay. Now, first question. What is the largest group of African immigrants in the U.S.? Is it A, Kenya, B, Nigeria, C, Sudan, or D, Algeria?
Nigeria. Kenya.
Sudan.
You got me, but I'm just going to go with the A, Algeria. I think Algeria.
It is Nigeria. Oh, all right. It's just the first one. It's okay. You got some time. You're getting there. All right. Yeah. Okay, as of 2018, there are over 203 million Nigerians living here in the U.S. Nigeria is the largest source of African immigration to the U.S., and they account for 0.6% of the United States' overall foreign-born population. Naija is over here representing. What percentage of Nigerian U.S. immigrants hold at least a bachelor's degree? Is it A, 25%, B, 43%, C, 17%, or D, 58%?
43. I was going to say that. I'm going to say 43.
I'll go with the B.
B, 43%?
Yes, 43.
D, 58%.
58%. It is. 58%.
Oh, was you going to say that too?
And and let me tell you, so American-born individuals is 33%.
Oh, okay. That's shocking. Yeah.
See, isn't that crazy? See, immigrants, we're great here. A higher percent of Nigerian immigrants hold a bachelor's degree than U.S.-born individuals, which rank 33%. Nigerians are highly educated, and 54% of Nigerian immigrants in the U.S. hold management positions. Looks like they're doing well out here. All right, now, how much money did people in the U.S. send to Nigeria in 2017? Was it $1 billion, B, $6.2 billion, C, $3 million, or D, $5 million?
5 million. 3.
Tough one. I'm going to go with 5 million.
5 million?
I'm gonna say the first one.
1 billion?
Yeah,
it's $6.2 billion.
With a B.
With a B, yes.
Wow. It's unbelievable.
It is,
You don't look at it
no,
like that,
you
do
don't.
you? You don't when you
Exactly.
put a new spin on it.
Right. Which is why there should be no travel ban. $6.2 billion was sent to Nigerians in 2017, contributing to the dynamic economies of both America and Nigeria. The New American Economy research found that in 2018, Nigerian immigrants in the U.S. made more than $14 billion and paid more than $4 billion in U.S. taxes. They paying taxes. Sheesh. English proficiency rates of Nigerian immigrants are low. True or false?
True.
Can you repeat the question?
I'm going to say that's false.
They do. Yes.
There you go.
I'm gonna say it's false.
This is very false. Yes, good job.
Stereotypes are bad.
They're horrible. They're horrible. According to Migration Policy Institute, Nigerians are among the best educated new arrivals to the United States and have one of the lowest rates of limited English proficiency. DHS Acting Secretary Chad F. Wolf said the new restrictions will make U.S. safer and more secure. But will it? How many terror-related deaths occurred by people from Nigeria, Myanmar, Tanzania, and Eritrea on American soil? Was it 3, 2, 5, or 0?
I'm going to go with 0. I don't believe it's a high number. 0.
There you go. You said that with confidence. Good job.
Yeah.
Say what's up to your dad. He did great.
You know, I watch a lot of news, and I haven't heard any of those countries, so I'm gonna say 0.
You got it. There you go. Come on, shmoney dance. Ooh, hey. Good job. So now you learn some stuff, right?
Yes, that they shouldn't be banned because they're black and brown people.
Thank you. You heard it here, Jeremiah?
Yes.
Yeah, and I don't remember names, but I remembered his. Good job, man. Well, thank you so much. You did amazing.
Welcome.
And you did too. It's actually 0.
You know it's 0.
You guys killed it. You guys killed it.
Thank you.
So listen, and we're done because we're going back to London now. Let's go. 0 deaths occurred. Now, if you live in the U.S., you know about mass shootings, right? In fact, assaults by firearm kill about 11,000 people in the U.S. each year, which translates to roughly 1 in 370 lifetime chance of death from gun violence. In fact, assaults by firearm kill about 11,000 people in the U.S. each year, which translates to roughly 1 in 370 lifetime chances of death from gun violence. That's almost 50% more likely than lifetime odds of dying while riding inside a car, truck, or van, or a terrorist attack from a foreign country. All right, Brad Squad, well, there you have it. Now, this game, Travel Ban Trivia, I hope you understand most people won't get them right because you don't know these statistics. What this game is for is to teach you, and I hope you guys have learned today. Now, back to the studio.
All right. What do we have to do now?
15.
15 questions in what? You can go.
I just want to give a round of applause in case there's no confetti once we don't blow up the studio.
There will be no confetti.
I just want to thank the Brad Squad for 81 thumbs up on YouTube. We'll get some more tomorrow.
All right.
Good job.
But I had asked for 75 and they gave me 81.
Boss lady, nobody disappoints Boss lady.
Yeah, listen.
Nobody
They're scared.
disappoints
Don't
her.
blow up the studio, Brad.
It's not going to be my fault. You got to read them
It
fast.
definitely ain't gonna be my fault.
Well, whose fault is it going to be?
Oh, not it.
All
Not it.
right. You ready?
Let's
All right,
get to
15
it.
questions, 2 minutes. Let's do it.
Is Obamacare part of public charge rules?
It's neither a positive or a negative.
If my fiance's son is on a K-1 application, however, will it not be traveling with him? Does he need to attend interview?
Yes.
I'm on a care program for my electricity and gas bills. Will that be considered public charge?
What kind of program?
For electricity and gas bills.
What kind of program is that? I don't
Care
know.
program.
Pass. I don't know what that
Claim my 2-year-old son on my tax returns, but he now lives with his father in our country. Do I need to show proof of supporting my son while I file for citizenship?
Absolutely.
How long does it take to approve F2A visa for a child 20 years old and abroad?
A long time.
How long after I reschedule my naturalization test would I have to wait to get my next one?
About 120 days.
My parents are green card holders. They're traveling out the country 162 days. Are they going to be questioned on public charge on the way back?
No, it has to be more than 180.
Uncle Brad, do you provide services to just fill out the paperwork without applicant doing a retainer?
No.
How can I prove bona fide marriage with my wife who lives abroad?
You have correspondence and you visit her.
Should I go ahead and file for my parents in Nigeria, or do I wait till the ban is lifted?
Go file for them and see what happens.
How can I get a passport renewed without the father in the child's life?
Get a family court order giving you full guardianship.
Can someone change from B1/B2 to F1?
Yes.
I have a DUI 2019, got my green card 2019 in September. How long can I file for my citizenship?
5 years after the end of that case.
Who will fill out a I-945 form, the petition or the spouse? The petitioner or the spouse?
The I-94 form?
I-944 form.
Oh, the petitioner.
Do you need to show certain amount of income using tax returns when filing the I-751?
No, you don't need to show any income for I-751.
All right.
And we did it. No one blew up the studio. Dun, 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 dun.
There you go.
Is that all we get? Nothing.
Yeah, I don't.
It's just really
Self-praise,
sad.
gentlemen.
It's just
Self-praise.
really
Pat
sad.
yourself on the
Right,
back.
right. But when we lose, they just blow the whole
Well, that's
freaking
why
thing
I
up.
had to make sure the Brad squad got some love for listening, so they don't think that I'm just telling them what to do and I'm not going to praise them when they do it.
All right, comments of the day. What are our comments of the day? First comment is, where's the confetti?
That's right. All right. I got the comments of the day.
All right.
All right, guys. Our first comment of the day comes from Jessica Leamy saying, I'm on 3 platforms. The love I have for this show, my day is complete when I get those notifications.
All right.
That's how we know when the show is going on.
Do you guys know what that means? That
What?
she's subscribed and turned on to the notification bell? Just saying.
That's what it,
So
that's
she's
exactly what it
notified.
means.
Our next comment of the day comes from Demore Ramid, and it says, if you want peace of mind in the immigration grind, find Brad, the Wonder Lad. I like that.
Who said that?
Demore Romed.
Wow.
Demore Romed. I like that little riddle.
Demore's a poet, and he didn't even know it.
Oh!
All right, Shakespeare. All right.
All right, our third comes from Lisa Bling Rose saying, Uncle Brad knows his immigration off his head, hand, and foot. No mistake. One king.
That's right. I
Yeah.
double fist with a left foot.
Yeah, right.
Right, on immigration.
On immigration.
questions. Our next comment of the day is from Isla Ennett. To Lisa Bling Rose, she said, why not be Brad's secretary?
Who wants to be my secretary?
Someone's nominating Lisa Bling
to
Rose
be the
to be your
secretary?
secretary.
Okay, why not?
I second that too.
All right, guys. Our last comment of the day is from Elizabeth Francis saying, Uncle Brad is the jack of all trades and he's the master of them all. Make your consultation and don't be late. The sooner, the better.
Who said that?
You said
Elizabeth Francis.
Wow, she's also a poet and didn't know it. All right, everybody. We'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. 800-229-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465.